Welcome back to another episode of the Basic Dude podcast. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. I think we have a great episode for you today. This is something that I've I've been thinking a lot about as of recently, and especially because I'm down here sort of by myself, and it's tough. Isolation is not good for anybody. Finding while I do work with some people and occasionally come across them, that's all fine and well. But that's kind of a work relationship, and just kind of things are different with that, right? So, anyway, today's podcast episode is something that I want to take a moment actually and honor, and I know, like, I've seen all this shit on the internet, and I know it's been a few weeks, and I know, first of all, let me just say something, that people are not perfect. And I think what someone does in their personal life is kind of their own business. But when I say the word brother, or when someone says brother to me, what pops into my head is the late great Hulk Hogan. I don't fucking like the guy or hate him. I don't really give a shit. He made a huge impact in, I think, just about every young man's life who was into wrestling. Everybody knew who Hulk Hogan was. I don't speak ill of the dead, because you want to know something? It's not polite, and it doesn't make you fucking look good. So, everybody has their skeletons or their demons, and that's just the way it is. But as far as the TV persona went, when you were watching him, do his thing, I guess, his favorite word was brother, right? And that's kind of what we're here to talk about today is brotherhood, or brothers. This episode is for every man out there who's felt like he had to carry it all alone, for the guy who's always fine but never fully known, and for the men who are hungry for something deeper than shallow friendship. Today we're going to talk about the power of brotherhood, why we need it, how to build it, and what it means to show up for other men in a world that tells us we don't need anyone. So in the past few weeks, we have been talking about, or I have been talking about, how men are built to serve, modern rites of passage, many different topics, really diving into the whole men and masculinity thing lately, and kind of all those aspects of it, because I think it's time, right? I've done a lot of episodes. We're at this is episode 34, I believe. So we're in week 34 of season 3. And I've discussed a lot of different things, productivity and all kinds of stuff, but I really haven't dove deep into man, or the modern man, or whatever. So that's kind of what I've been doing the past few weeks. I don't know, maybe it's just my subconscious, bringing something forward or signaling something to me, but I just feel that the topics the past few weeks about manhood are important. So anyway, let's dive in here. Let's be honest. Most men are lonely. Statistically, we have fewer deep friendships than we did even 30 years ago. Why? Because life moves fast. Careers, relationships, kids, bills. We prioritize everything but our friendships. Add to that the belief that needing others is weakness, and you've got a recipe for isolation. Absolutely. It is not a sign of weakness to need others. Needing someone and being needy are two different things. Being needy to me is weakness. This and I firmly believe that when you have a close relationship with someone, with another man, when you guys are that tight, you don't need to speak anything. They see it, they hear it, they notice it, and that's the difference, right? So you need them to be in tune and kind of notice those when you're not having such a great day, or you're having a tough time, or you're having a really good time, and build you up and celebrate, and stuff like that is much different than being a whiny fucking bitch and needy and saying, oh, my wife doesn't like me, and nobody wants to listen to that shit. We just don't, right? We don't want to listen to a needy, whiny bitch. Those are two very different things. But here's the truth: lone wolves die faster. That's not just a metaphor. Isolation increases stress, risks of depression, and even heart disease. So not only mentally but physically can harm you. Think about this. When was the last time another man looked you in the eye and asked, how's your heart? Not how's work or how's the family. How's your soul doing? How are you as a person? Brotherhood isn't just about having buddies to watch the game with. It's about having men who know your story and stand in the fire with you. So let's go back a bit. Warriors obviously didn't fight alone. In ancient tribes, men trained, hunted, and protected each other. Even in the Bible, Proverbs 27:17 says, as iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. Right? We see that all over the place. If you are tuned into the masculine world, or the these mentors that that's what we all use. Iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. Whether you're in ancient history, religion, or just psychology, every culture knew this. Men grow stronger when they grow together. And it's not about being soft or emotional. Brotherhood is about accountability, loyalty, and strength. It's saying, I see your flaws. I've got mine too. Let's fight through life together. You don't have to share everything, but you do need someone in your corner. Not just when things fall apart, but to keep them from falling apart. I think there's a lot of belief, especially, I think maybe I'm just speaking from examples that I've seen, but there are some women out there that all they need is their husband and their kids, and they're good with that. That keeps them together, that holds them together, and they cannot understand why you would need anything else. If that works for them, it should work for you. Your family should be enough for you. Unfortunately, even though we're not little kids anymore, we still need those male role models. We still need that camaraderie. We need that stuff, because it makes us, it does something to our brain, right? It makes us better. Anyway, let's we'll go into let me just, I guess, get real with you I guess, for a second. Um, I, I had a great, when I lived down here in Florida before, over on the East Coast, I found a great group of guys, and we used to do all kinds of shit together. And it was great. I will say that maybe ego's got in the way, or, well, as much as I hate to admit it, cattiness, which usually you see with groups of females, comes into play, or power struggles, or, things of that nature. But I mean, we used to get together and do poker night, and take hikes and barbecues, and lots of fun stuff. It was really cool. It was just a group of like-minded guys, and we would get together. I don't know, like once a week, sometimes once a month, depending on whatever what was going on and stuff. And it was really great. And it really gave me that brotherhood. It gave me that mentorship, that sense of belonging. It did. It really did a lot of good, positive things for me. But in all honesty, I squandered it. I let my ego get the best of me. I let my, I have a habit that I'm still trying to break, of complaining, or bitching about stuff, and then kind of becoming disgruntled, I guess we'll say. So I kind of ruined it for myself, but I tried to pull it back together, and then I ended up moving back north, and up there, it's just moving back to a place where I lived before. There, I didn't have any friends there when I left, and didn't really want to reconnect with the old friends when I moved up there. So I guess my one friend was my neighbor across the street, who's like 70 years old, and he's a good guy. We bullshit and hang out, but not that active, not into stuff like that. So I was kind of lost for quite a while. And then my cousin and I got together, and we started a podcast, and that kind of built me some camaraderie. That gave me a little project, a hobby to do and to work on. And I guess this is a perfect moment to mention where I met Mr. James Jennings for the first time. He was found him on Instagram, and reached out to him and said, "Hey, I kind of like what you're doing." At the time, he was, he has the Keep Fighting podcast. And it was, at the time, originally it was Fighting for Men. And that's what we were kind of discussing, was men's mental health and all that stuff. On my other podcast that is no longer on. But I got a hold of him and said, "Hey, I'd like to interview you," and that's where I met James. And since James and I have created a remote brotherhood together, which is great. We at least text back and forth weekly. I listen to his podcast, he listens to mine, and then he's also helped me out with his company, which is the official sponsor of the Basic Dude podcast, which is Kilo Foxtrot Fitness. You can find him on the internet, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and reach out to him, and he will be more than willing to help you in all of your fitness and health needs, and coaching and guiding you to eating better, your working out, losing weight, gaining muscle, all of that good stuff. And he does it in a really great way that just is not totally overwhelming and makes you flip your entire life upside down, which is a huge help. And or you can see him in person in Bellbrook, Ohio, at the Gem City Wellness Holistic Wellness Center. He does boot camps and personal training there. Go check him out. He is if you're in the market for somebody to give you a hand, and it's time to put down the Chips Ahoy and pick up the barbell, he is the guy to talk to. So once again, Kilo Foxtrot Fitness. Mr. James Jennings is the owner and trainer there. He is an admirable man who will guide you in the right direction. So anyway, that gave me a little bit of brotherhood or camaraderie there. And then I just kind of ended up, my cousin unfortunately couldn't carry on. It, kind of became a job, and it can be demanding to do this. So I started my own thing, but there again, now I've lost that kind of that time, that connection, that weekly connection. But as I think I've mentioned before, I know I've talked about this before, but you can always seek your Moose Lodges and American Legions and outdoor groups and stuff like that. There's always places to find other like-minded men that are into what you are, and find some friends and kind of build that thing. Anyway, I digress. I'm kind of fucking rambling here. I'm pretty exhausted. Anyhow, so what does real brotherhood actually look like? It's consistent, not once a year. You check in, you show up. It's honest, even when it's uncomfortable. And that's tough for me. It's accountable. You challenge each other to level up. It's safe, a space where weakness doesn't equal shame. It's not always deep talks either. It's road trips, gym sessions, barbecues, or working on cars. Brotherhood is built in the mundane, and it's proven in crisis. That's a fucking great saying right there. I don't know where the fuck that came from. But just so full disclosure, I do use Chat GPT to kind of give me some like bullet notes for my my topics that I do every week. So, but yeah, you don't need a dozen brothers. You really just need a few real ones, in all honesty. All right, so practical time. You might be thinking, I get it, but how do I start? Here's how. Initiate. Be the guy who reaches out. Text someone, grab coffee, risk rejection. Nobody likes to feel rejected, and sometimes, doing that to me is kind of makes you feel a little creepy. Like, you're asking somebody out on a date or something like that. No, you just want to casually to get together with another guy and hang out and shoot the shit. I don't know how many of you go into diners on the weekdays. If you go into a diner on any weekday morning, you will see something that is fucking magical to me. And this is how I want to prove something about this. Generally, you will walk in and you'll sit down, and the waitress will come over, and you'll get your coffee. And I've always found diners to be great people watching places because I feel like there's a lot of like salt of the earth people that come to diners. And I'm talking like the little fucking greasy diner with like 10 booths and a fucking bar and like cash only, and the waitress's name is Dolores. You know what I'm saying? Like wearing the apron and the yeah. So you know what I'm getting at here. But you go in and you're going to notice something once you order your stuff and you're waiting for it to come. You're going to look around, and you're going to notice just about everybody in there knowing each other by name and talking to each other. And what I have noticed the most is most of the time, it is men, older retired men, possibly served together in the military or work together in a factory or, warehouse or in a trade, and now are retired and continue their their outings, their daily outing at the diner, having coffee, shooting the shit, and building that brotherhood, keeping that brotherhood alive. I had a customer down here actually. He went to the diner every morning at the same time and met with whoever, friends of his, and that was his thing. That's at any given time when I would show up to service their generator. If I was there at a certain time, I would know that that the husband was at the diner. That's what he did. But it that right there just shows you that there doesn't have to, it's a gathering place in public. Like a lot of times, these private social clubs and stuff, you have to belong to them. You can't just walk in there and kind of observe this. So that's why diners are really awesome. And that, that gives you an idea, especially for me, like, hey, Sunday morning, I'm going to go to this diner. I'll be there at 8:00. If you want, come have a cup of coffee and, we'll shoot the shit. And eventually what happens is that kind of grows into something bigger. And then next thing you know, you got to get the back room and, stuff like that. So these things grow organically, and, you can just kind of set the tone. Anyway, little hockey reference there, set the tone. Be consistent. Brotherhood doesn't happen overnight. It does take time. Go first. Share struggle. Vulnerability invites vulnerability. Invite depth. Ask better questions. What are you carrying right now? Where are you struggling? What are you hoping for? Build rhythm. Weekly meetups. Monthly guy nights. Form a men's group. Start small, but start. Let's see. So, let me hit you with this week's Brotherhood challenge. Pick one man this week and be intentional. Check in. Ask a deeper question. Tell him you've got his back. If you're already in a group, double down on consistency. Be that brother that others can count on. And for the guy listening who's struggling, you're not alone. You are not weak for wanting connection. You're human. Strong men don't isolate, they unite. No such thing as a one-man army. All right, folks, that's it for today. I hope this you got some value out of this. Well, here's my hope for this, and I know I don't really have many fucking listeners, but here's my hope. Okay. My hope is that someone somewhere listened to this episode and they took it seriously and they said, holy shit, this makes sense. This is what I need to do. And they pull into work and they go talk to their buddy who they've worked next to for the past 10 years, or, just using as an example, and say, hey, if you're not busy this Sunday, do you want to meet up for a cup of coffee? Or, hey, Friday night after work, did you want to go over and grab a beer? That's pretty common, going to grab a drink. Obviously, don't drink and drive, monitor yourself, everything in moderation, all that stuff. But it kind of gives you a social environment, that you can, kind of like a level playing field, and keeps you sort of busy. And having having a drink instead of eating a meal, it's kind of hard to talk when you're eating and stuff like that. So, yeah, just grab a cup of coffee, grab a beer or something like that. And, yeah, I hope that I have just set up, one of you out there listening to, initiate, some form of brotherhood, wherever it may be, public place, private place, whatever. But that I have encouraged you and I have given you direction on how to do it. That's what I hope for this episode. Anyway, follow me on TikTok, Instagram, the YouTube. Check all that stuff out. Get a hold of me. If you are going to do something like this, or you already do, reach out to me. Send me an email, send me a DM, something like that. Leave a comment on the episode if you'd like. And tell me about like your brotherhood, what you do, what you experience, what you belong to. Do you meet up with some buddies at the Legion, once a week, or do you gather with some friends at Buffalo Wild Wings on Tuesdays or Thursdays? Those are my two favorite days to hit Buffalo Wild Wings. Do you do something like that? I'd really like to know, or let me know if I've encouraged you to kind of start something of that nature, a men's group or something, a Bible study, I don't know, underwater basket weaving club. I don't fucking know. Just, I think the point is just find some guys, get together and fucking lean on each other and serve each other and be good friends and be good men and learn and teach and do all that stuff. So, anyway, I would like to thank you for listening today, and have a great rest of your week. And remember, be the man you were meant to be.